Oh boy. I love it when I'm right, and I can't. I don't even know where to start. Let's start with yesterday. What did I tell you yesterday about headlines and stories? What do the mainstream media do? They have a narrative, they want to push it. They don't tell the story, they tell a story. And what is one of their stories they like to push? Gun control. So let's see. What's the latest? ABC Online or whatever has a story. What is the headline of the story? The headline of the story is: in the wake of all the mass shootings, Colt decided to stop making AR 15s. Now, who needs to read the rest of the story? Plain and simple, Colt stopped making the AR 15 because of mass shootings. Now, people who aren't afraid of guns, people who own guns, people who are not pussies, will see that headline and say, hey, but wait a minute. AR 15s aren't the predominant mass shooting weapon, handguns are. In fact, all rifles, not even any rifle, all rifles are low in the list of weapons involved in the killings. So then you say to yourself, I think I need to read more of this story. So now you read the story. And at the very end of the story, the very end, it says, a Colt never mentioned mass shootings in their statement about stop making AR-15s. Oh, they never mentioned that. Oh. Well, what did they mention? Well, now we have to go to Colt and find out what Colt said. Oh, Colt said they said they didn't say they would stop making AR-15s. They said they were going to put a pause on it because there's so many AR-15s out in the market and in the stores and everywhere else. Making them now would kind of be a waste. They're just adding to the stockpile of AR-15s that are out there. So they're probably going to wait till, the shelves are getting low, and then they're going to bring them out again. I mean, I told you this yesterday. Not even one day. Not even one day. Now, what's the other good part? This is even better because this is more me. I also told you yesterday. What was the Dan Bongino rule? When a story comes out, wait 24 to 72 hours. So what's the latest big story that's out right now? The whistleblower. Notice how they call this person a whistleblower when they don't even know what the person is saying and whether it's true or not. See, a whistleblower is somebody who, for lack of a better term, let's speak Brooklynese, rats out who they work for or something like that with information of what they're doing. True information. If it's a speculation or something like that, the person's not a whistleblower. Julian Assange was never called a whistleblower. He was called a spy and all this other nonsense. So, let's call a spade a spade. The story is falling apart. Last night on CNN, and today, last night on CNN, Chris Cuomo opened up with this whole big thing about the whistleblower and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, and we have on for tonight, right in the middle of the middleman of the whole thing, Rudy Giuliani. And then Rudy Giuliani says, everything you just said is erroneous. He told them. And then what did he say? What did he say about this this whistleblower and this thing? They're talking about the Ukraine. Any of you people watch my videos? Remember me mentioning something about the Ukraine? I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to tell you where to find it. If you remember, there was a thing where Giuliani was supposed to go to the Ukraine, but he didn't go to Ukraine. He was investigating The Manafort deal, because Manafort was involved with the Ukraine. Supposedly, the Ukraine paid Manafort millions of dollars. And the only proof of this was the black book, or the black something. I think it was the black book or whatever. Or the black file. And in the black file, or the black book, it said the Ukraine's paid Manafort millions of dollars. No evidence of Manafort getting millions of dollars. No, we found millions of dollars in Manafort's bank account, and it came directly from the Ukraine. None of that. The whole thing about Manafort. Somebody said something, and it's in this book. But what happened when they were investigating the Manafort thing? They heard a story. What story did they hear? Go back to my video. Hit my little picture so that you're on my page. Scroll down to June 14th. I believe that's Flag Day. The title of the video is something, I think Trump and Snuffleupagus. Snuffleupagus is in the title because it was about when he had that meeting with Stephanopoulos, I think his name is. I can never remember this guy's name. In that video, what did I do that had to do with Ukraine? Does this ring a bell when they were talking about President Trump accepting information from other countries? Ring-a-ding-ding. Hello. This is the Ukraine. Oh, hi, Ukraine. Remember that? Remember what that whole story was? What I said 3 months ago, Giuliani said last night almost word for word. And Trump today, when he was having his little presser sitting next to the Prime Minister of Australia, Prime Minister? President? Whatever. Of Australia, they kept asking him. The whistleblower. They had to keep asking him this question. Trump mentioned Biden, mentioned his son, mentioned billions of dollars, mentioned getting a prosecutor fired. Everything I told you 3 months ago is just now appearing in the news now. So what I told you in June 14th, you now see what today's September 20th. So September 19th to September 20th are probably the first times, or maybe a couple of days ago, the first times this story is coming up in the news. So now you must be asking yourself, well, Nick, are you a prophet? No! I told you, when you follow the right people, when you listen to the right people, when you stop listening to these fucking idiots that have been lying to you for years. It's easy. It's easy to know who's been lying to you for years. Who's been pushing the whole Russiagate and Trump-Russia narrative? Who's been saying there's evidence that this happened when there wasn't? Who? MSNBC, CNN, New York Times, Washington Post, ABC, NBC, CBS. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. The Wall Street Journal sometimes, but sometimes the Wall Street Journal comes out with a great story. They're a little fickle. They have fake news and they have real news. It's hard with the Wall Street Journal. Go back and look at that video. Don't watch the whole video. My little Ukraine conversation is at the end. It's the last 2 minutes of the video. You'll see me talking into my hand. Just go to the beginning of that conversation. Starts off with ring-a-ding-ding, hello Ukraine. And listen to that story. And then see if you can find Giuliani on CNN last night with Chris Cuomo. Or look at, it's easy to find, look at President Trump speaking. I don't know, it wasn't in the Oval Office, but I think they were in the White House sitting down, Trump and the Prime Minister of Australia, and they were talking to the press. Just listen to what I said, listen to what Giuliani said, listen to what Trump said. And then you know I'm following the right people. So when I tell you something, And you wonder, how come I never heard that? It's because you're not following the right people. It's out there. It's all out there. The whole Spygate story, it's all out there. But you have to be willing to listen to it. You have to make a little bit of an effort. You can't just have this stuff spoon-fed to you. You're getting spoon-fed garbage. That's all I got. I'm just happy because I have a feeling things are going to start to... The reason why they're going hard on Trump and they're trying to push all these stories, Kavanaugh and this and the whistleblower, right now they know what's happening. When I mean they, I'm talking about the bad people. Democrats, I'm sure there's some Republicans, the deep state, the cabal, whatever you want to call them, the bad people. They know what's coming. So right now they're trying to feed the narrative that will try to explain. So when you hear 2 weeks from now, this, and this about this person, they're going to say, well, didn't you hear the news 2 weeks ago? You know, they got misinformation. Oh, my bad. And they didn't do nothing. It wasn't done on purpose. It was an accident. All the fake stories that are becoming debunked, they were all accidents. It wasn't done on purpose. But yet all the accidents go one way. I notice it's always a negative story about Republicans or conservatives or Trump. That's the accident. No accidental stories about Biden, the Clintons, Obama. No accidental stories about that. All the boo-boos and uh-ohs were on the other side. Yeah, all right. We believe you. Sure. Well, enjoy. Talk to you later. Bye.